Hello, my friends. Time for another episode of the Red Delta Project podcast, helping you maximize your potential with minimalist approaches to diet and exercise. I'm Matt Schifferly, founder of the Red Delta Project and author of the books that sponsor these episodes, like Grind Style Calisthenics and my brand new one, Overcoming Isometrics. There's links down below in the description to the full RDP library, and you can also go to reddeltaproject.com for the loads of free ebooks that I have for you there as well. Today's episode, we're talking about the magic and freedom of freestyle training, also known sometimes as intuitive training, where instead of following a strict routine, or say Monday I work legs, these are the exercises, these are the sets I do, and so on in this order, you kind of go with a more free-flowing approach of waking up and being like, well, legs, how you feel today? You ready for a workout? And they're like, no way, man, you just did a long mountain bike ride on Sunday. We're tired, we're sore, we're stiff. I'm like, you're right, you guys aren't in great shape. I'm gonna put you guys off, but back muscles are feeling great today. I'm gonna do pull-ups instead. Now, at first, this approach to freestyle training may seem a little bit at odds with a message that I've long preached, which is you have to have consistency in your training and diet and exercise habits, because without that consistency, you have no stability, no progress. So going free form and saying do what you can as you can do it seems like it's going to compromise a consistency. But in reality, it actually improves your consistency. The reason is because your results don't come from your routine. They don't come from your sets and your reps and all that sort of thing. Instead, always remember that fitness is about a cyclical approach of two forces of the natural principles of Mother Nature, right? Weight loss, we have calories in, calories out. When it comes to training, we have stimulus and we have adaptation. When you focus on how am I creating a stimulus, everything changes. Because I don't care what your routine looks like. I don't care what exercises you do or sets and repetitions and stuff. That stuff doesn't get you results. What does get results is creating a stimulus. So naturally the question is, well, what does that mean? Well, the way you create a stimulus is you create a progressive functional demand. In other words, you take what you did before in your workout, let's say you did 8 pistol squats, and you say, all right, that's what I did before. Now I've got to step it up somehow. I'm going to do more reps. I'm going to improve my technique. So instead of wobbling all over the place, I'm going to keep my glutes tight at the bottom. Maybe add a little resistance, right? So instead of holding on with both arms, I'll hold on with one, or hold on to a kettlebell or something. Basically, when you're creating a stimulus, you're saying, that's what you did before. Now step it up 1%. And this helps break you out of that trap of thinking, what's the right way to train? Because there's a lot of people out there saying, how many sets should I do? How many reps should I do? Will I get bigger and stronger if I do 100 push-ups a day? I don't know. You could do 100 push-ups a day, and if you're normally doing 50 push-ups a day, yes, that could potentially create a progressive stimulus because it's more than what you were doing. But if you were someone who's like, I do 200 push-ups as a warm-up, doing 100 push-ups a day is barely going to do anything for you because it's actually a regression. So it's not the numbers that actually make it effective. It's how is this better and progressive from what you did before? That's where your stimulus comes from. So in an ideal world, you're coming to your workouts in the best possible mental and physical condition that you can bring to the workout to create that stimulus. Because when you're asking your body to step up, you want to be as fresh, as energized, and as motivated as possible. If you come into your workout and you're like, I do not want to be here, mentally you're off, physically you're just off, you don't feel all that great, your chances of creating that stimulus plummet. So sure, you can toughen it out and be a badass and force yourself through the workout, but if you didn't actually step anything up, you didn't create much of a stimulus, therefore there's no real reason for your body to adapt and change. So that structured routine can work great if you come to each workout refreshed, recovered, and ready to rock and roll. And that can certainly happen, especially if you have a very structured approach to your lifestyle. But life is very seldom that cut and dry. Sometimes it is, but especially for myself, my days are all over the place. Some days I'm very active and I come home at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, I'm exhausted. Other days I'm literally sitting in front of a computer all day. Some days I wake up at 4 a.m., some days I sleep until like 6:30 or so. It's all over the place. So the chances of me bringing a good set of physical, mental, and emotional readiness to each workout on a structured routine is very hit or miss. Therefore, it compromises my consistency. When you're free flowing and you have a freestyle approach, you take stock of what you actually have. What can you actually do to the best of your ability? And sure, that may mean putting things off and being opportunistic about it. It's like retreating from a battle in order to win the war. Yeah, my legs are shot from my mountain bike ride on Sunday. So even though I usually work legs on Tuesday, if they're not up for it, I'm not doing legs. I'm gonna do something else instead. And I know there'll be those who's like, no, you should push through and you should be tough and you should make yourself do things you don't want to do and stuff. And there's a time and a place for that, sure, yeah. However, when your objective in your training is to create that stimulus, if you're not coming with as much as you can to the workout and your chances of creating that stimulus are much lower, then you have to really ask yourself if it's really worth it. And most of the time, I would say no. I fully admit that this freestyle training, it is a little bit more for the experienced exerciser. Having a regular routine works really well for those who are starting out to build that consistency of habit of like, I work out my legs twice a week, whereas if you didn't do that, you may not work your legs at all. Keeps things balanced. But as you get more experience and you learn to listen to your body and you learn to recognize good tired from bad tired, and okay, are you not feeling like working out today just now, and once you get moving you're going to be good? Or is this the kind of fatigue that even if you get warmed up you're still not going to be in the best shape possible? This stuff just comes from experience. So take it as your conditions warrant, like all things with freestyle training. Can you make it work well for you or not? Are you better off with a structured routine or not? It's a judgment call for yourself. But we always want to make sure our focus is on creating that stimulus and the adaptation cycle. Whatever choices and decisions you make to further create a greater stimulus and improve adaptation is probably going to be in the right direction, regardless of whether or not it's sticking with some sort of a dogmatic plan. And lastly, one of the biggest conundrums that a lot of people say freestyle training doesn't work very well is that it's harder to track. It's harder to record in a log, because when you have a regular log, you can say, okay, this is what I did last time, and you use the same log for the same type of workouts, you can track progress. But that's why I created the scoreboard progression log, which allows you to have more of a freestyle approach to your training, but you can still track your progress and make notes of things that you're working on. So I wrote a free ebook on that. There's a link down below in the description, or you can go to reddeltaproject.com, look up scoreboard progression log. It's a very simple workout log format rather, that allows you to have a very flexible approach, yet still structured enough so you can track your progress and make sure that you're still improving things and bringing that functional demand to create a progressive stimulus, therefore leading to better adaptation and the results you want. And don't forget that you can always do a mix of things. It doesn't have to be black or white, on or off. You can have a structured routine and freestyle mixed together. For example, you may say, I have trouble working legs on a regular basis. So you say, okay, Tuesday and Friday, those are your leg days. The other ways you're working your muscles and stuff are more freestyle, but you do legs Tuesdays and Fridays just to make sure that you're getting it in on those times. Or you can have a structured approach throughout the week, like Tuesdays are pull chain, Wednesday is our push chain, and so on, but you leave it a little bit more open-ended as exactly how you do that. So what kind of exercise is feeling best for you that day? You may come to your push chain exercise thinking, oh, my shoulders are kind of wonky today, I'm not sure about dips. Great, push-ups. Or you can go with weights, bench press, whatever it is, kind of going with whatever exercise selection. Or sets and reps too. You'd be like, all right, my program calls for 3 sets, and you do 3 sets and you're like, I'm just hitting my stride. I'm feeling really good right now. Well, then keep going. If you can continue to produce a lot of effort and increase your chance of creating a stimulus, keep going. Don't stop prematurely. But at the same time, if you're doing your sets and reps and you're like, all right, I've got 5 sets, right? And after 3 sets, you're like, I just petered out. Well, then stop. There's no point in continuing to work if you can't create much of a stimulus after that point. So you're always looking to make your muscles step up. And if you can do that with keeping going or holding back, do that. So I hope that answers questions and gives you some ideas to think about with freestyle training. It's certainly working great for me. My body feels a lot better. I'm making a hell of a lot more progress than ever. You can check out more here in the videos playlist on micro workouts, which work very well for freestyle training. If you have thoughts and questions down below, I'll answer them as well. Thank you very much for listening. Be fit, live free.